What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we want to discuss whether that saying is true. The saying is black people can't run things. Is that true? Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holler. People, for a very long time, white people have been saying this thing that black people don't know how to run things, or black people just know how to destroy things, or countries gone to the dogs. Man, sometimes you look at it and you think these people are being racist, right? When they say that, right? And they say that we can't run things. They're just being racist. I mean, if we're given the opportunity, we'll show them. And opportunities come, and 99.9% of the time, we prove those racist people right by us failing to uphold standards, by failing to run things the way they used to be run. Now, it seems like when people say this, right, normally it applies to governments. I mean, it all starts from the top, right, coming down. So let's look at it layer by layer and see whether this saying rings true, right? At the top, during colonialism, the days of colonialism, right? Countries, white people set up systems, right? And those systems, even if they were detrimental to black people, those systems worked, right? Even if black people didn't really benefit from those systems, but those systems worked. That's from a government level, right? So I'm talking about leadership, right? Right at the top. Then we take over. Independence comes around. I mean, all of a sudden, those systems that used to work start failing. You know, if we go from the earliest country that got independence, sub-Saharan Africa, I mean that would be your what your Ghana, your Nigeria, you know, those in the 50s, 60s. It's it's hard to believe that those countries used to at one stage, those countries were well run, you know, apart from the racism and whatever. I'm just talking about systems that work, just systems in place that work, that don't seem to be in place anymore. You know, when you see, I mean, when you see governments neglecting, looting, destroying, what does that leave now? What does that leave for the next, the bottom level now that we go into? So we're looking at state-run companies, state-run enterprises. The people that are put in charge, or the people that were in charge before, things used to function. Things used to function. Now, at the top level, right, we have presidents, and you just see the decisions that the previous colonizers were making were pushing the countries forward, right? And then the black leadership takes over, and then you see the decisions they're making are like pulling the country downwards, right? Then we go to municipal levels, state companies and stuff. When there's a previous white manager or white whatever, things were running smoothly. Then a black guy takes over, or colored guy takes over. Well, in this case, colored black is going to be one thing, right? Things start deteriorating. I mean, At one stage, when, like, let's just say trains and buses, those things ran on time. Like, if they said 7 o'clock to be there, that's, I promise you, 7 o'clock, a minute past seven, it would be there. You know? Now, black man takes over. Oh my goodness. You don't even know if that thing is still coming or not. Now you're already trying to make plans to get an alternative transport source because now you don't know if this one is coming. And then you jump into a taxi, and then as you're in a taxi, you're riding away, you're now spending extra money now. There you see that train coming, or you see now that bus coming, but you already jumped in a taxi. It's those simple things like, what is the delay? Is there more traffic on the road now? If there's more traffic on the road, then surely you have to adjust the timetables of the buses, right? To make them be earlier, to make them what? So as to accommodate. Because if there was, let's just say there's 50,000 cars on the road in the mornings, and that's how you were able to get to your 7 o'clock destination on time, right? Obviously, there was in the colonial times. Now, obviously, there's more cars on the road now. Now there's a million cars on the road. You still cannot stick to that timetable of now, well, because there's 50,000 cars on the road, we used to make it there at 7 o'clock. Now there's a million cars on the road. You're not going to make it there at 7 o'clock. Obviously not. So you've got to readjust the timetables according to the amount of traffic on the roads. That's what I would think. But no, we stick to the same old, right? All right, cool. Let's go lower. Now we go to companies, right? Go to companies. These companies. Now I'm just talking from experience. Like, it's like in the old days, even these companies were 100% white owned, and they used to give us these, like for breakfast, used to get these massive, big, what you call these, muffins. And then as time went on, they started bringing in, they had to now do this whole BEE thing and then bring in black partners and all. Now they're saving costs and all these things. You see, now, we used to get these giant muffins for breakfast at work, right? And then when the PE partners came in, and then over time, the muffins got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. In the end, you're now having to bring, yeah, well, guys, you have to bring your own lunch from home, right? Cool. But for years, when the white people were in charge, you never brought lunch from home because lunch was served free, right? Now the PE partners come in. All of a sudden, we're cutting costs. We're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing that. Now you got to pay for these lunches. Now you got to do this, now you got to do that. And in the end, people are now like, okay, you know what? I just rather bring lunch from home, which was never the case. So that's at private company level, right? Or these be whatever they're saying, right? Cutting costs and doing all this. Nice. Okay. Now my question comes to you. Privately owned black companies. Have you ever went into a have you ever went into a Nigerian or Congolese shop, for example? You know, you firstly, the previous owner of that, let's just say the building. Okay, let's just say that spot, right? The previous business owner that was in that spot, let's just say it was a white guy. Let's just say he had a hardware and whatever it was there. You see, it was clean, it was professionally run, it was this, like a business should, you know what I mean? Professional signage. Um, it just looked, you know, he leaves because now business is going down, or he probably just doesn't like the area now because now there's just too many blacks in the area. Then they decide, you know what? Nah, we're moving to a affluent suburb or whatever it is, and moving out because it's too black here or it's too getting too dangerous here. So he moves out. In moves in a, I don't know, Nigerian, a Congolese, not many South Africans ever. So Nigerian, Congolese, who else? So okay, Pakistanis. They still maintain some level of. But let's just keep it to us blacks, right? So Nigerians, Congolese, maybe Ghanaians, I don't know, Zambia, maybe Zimbabweans as well. Then they take over that specific spot. People, I'm not saying all. black run businesses are run unprofessionally. No, I am not saying that. I am simply saying these street level shops, when you go to a Congolese, Nigerian run, Ghanaian run, Cameroonian run, whatever African country run shop, like a retail store shop where they sell even these nuts and sell whatever. People, even that, even the service levels, not all of them, but most of them, ah, just customer service. It's just it's like you would think that being kind, not unkind, being professional in speaking to people would be a thing that could attract potential business, right? But you speak to someone, it's like you're bothering them. You speak to them, it's like they're doing you a favor by being in the area. And then, cool. Like I said, you look at the signage, things have just gone down. Then they take the shop. There's a barber shop in one corner. There's a hairdresser in the other corner. They're selling computer parts in the other corner. It's all in one shop, right? So I know they're trying to cut costs and because the things are expensive and all that, right? You get people just sitting around, hanging around in the shop, and everything just looks so chaotic, like people sitting outside of the shop, people just hanging around. And it's like, dude, really, you know what I'm saying? Opening a business and you having a signage that's made out of card boxes and zinc with paint on it, and you're just putting up a sign to say barber here. And guys, no, maybe you don't have the funding to have a building just yet. Keep doing it from a backyard. Keep doing it from a roadside or something. Do it from under a tent or something. Up until you have the money to put proper signage to be in a building. That's all we're saying. People are people are so greedy to make money that they just want to do the least but get the most out of it. And it's just not right. Really not right. In the area where I live, there's these Zimbabweans selling they I don't know what you call it, relish. Not relish, like it's a spinach type of a thing that they sell over there. Right? Selling it. They're basically selling it out of a dish, right? In bundles, and they place it on top of the bin. Like these black wheelie bins, that's just outside of the shop in front there. They just put that bucket on there and you got the price there, I think it's 20 Rand or 10 Rand a bundle or something like that. And I'm thinking like, okay, cool. I get it that it's not in the bin. And I get it that the relish is not directly on the bin. I mean, it's in a dish, but on the bin. I mean, what are we saying about standards? What are we saying about what do we think about the people that we're serving? Does it matter? Does it not matter? Do we care? Do we don't care? You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's go lower. Then we talk about previously white areas. Now let's just talk about let's start let's start at block of flats. In a previously white area, you get black people move in, it's multiracial, it's multi-ethnic, it's multicultural, it's multinational. Do you know when whites live in a block of flats? I promise you, it is clean, it is nice, it's just man, it just looks so inviting that even you would dream to live there. Fast forward to when we take over that spot, when we move into those buildings. Oh my goodness. You got clothes hanging out of windows. Your balconies are now turned into storerooms, stockroom, into storage spaces. Uh, dude, places just become so run down. It's even hard to believe that someone would say to you, for example, Hillbrow used to be a white place. Hillbrow used to be clean. Hillbrow, what do you mean it used to be clean? You found it clean. Why couldn't you just maintain the cleanliness? I mean, isn't that just a basic thing? I mean, guys, come on. There's this saying that says if you leave a thing the way you found it, right? If you found it clean, leave it clean. I mean, that's just a basic rule of thumb, yeah? But okay, that's white areas, right? Going to white areas. We run down white areas. We move into previously white-owned houses. Got a swimming pool, that lawn, that. Now we move in there. Oh my goodness. Pool don't function. Green water, there's frogs, there's tadpoles. The lawn is no longer lawn. It's now like grass. No yard maintenance. Then you ask yourself this question. So why do we move into these spaces if we know we can't afford them? Or we can afford them, but we're not prioritizing them. It's like, why, guys? Why do we fail to maintain things that were easily maintained by the previous owners? Is it because we don't know how to budget with money? Is it because we don't know how to use money? Is it because we don't? Is it because we can't afford it? I mean, then we have 10, 5 different families living in a house. I know rents are going up, so we need to make a plan so that we can afford them. Okay, cool. Now we've got 10 people living in a house. We can maintain the house. Okay, cool. Now we can afford the rent. But the yard, the lawn, the grass, the paint, the house doesn't even, it becomes so. See, I'm just giving examples from the highest office right down to like us at the bottom, like the bottomest of the bottom. That as black people, we almost fail on almost every level to maintain the levels that were set before us. And then when we take over these spots, these places, these companies, it's like they just fall apart. I don't know if we have this attitude of I didn't build it, I didn't make it, so I don't care. It can follow and it's fine. I don't understand that. So where do we get this mentality from? That we'd rather steal the money that is supposed to be maintaining the system because I need to gain. I mean, people look at the 10 people that are charged in the SASA fraud, right? These people, these are government employees, by the way. And I'm thinking these people earn in excess of what, 15,000, maybe 20,000 at least, is what I'm thinking. By South Africa's standards now, they're saying if you earn 7,500 and up, you are middle income, you're middle class. 7,500. That's not even enough for a bank loan, but you're middle class anyway in South Africa, by South African standards. Okay, cool. The majority of South Africans don't even earn 7,500, right? Yeah, you are earning 15,000, 18,000 a month as a government employee, and you're stealing SASSA money. You are stealing from the pensioners. Now, that's what I'm saying. We get into systems that are in place that work for the elderly, but even that we seek to destroy by stealing on top of the salary that we're getting. People, why are we known? Why do we have this reputation? Why do we have this mentality of destroy, destroy, destroy? Why? And I'm not even talking about rioting. No, no, no. I'm not talking about rioting at all. This one is not even about looting, right? None of that. It's just about the mentality of everyday life. We're just comfortable in degrading systems. Why? Degrading places. I mean, go into any formerly white area that has now been taken over by African nationals. Just and tell me what you think about it. Like I give you an example of Hillbrow. I don't know. Go look at what Sunnyside looks like. Go and look at what I don't know, guys. It's guys, it's tiring, guys. And the funny thing is, it's our own people doing it. You know what I mean? Along with the foreigners too. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people blame, look, it's the foreigners doing it. Cool. Foreigners are doing it too. But at the end of it all, it's black people doing it. So I don't care if you're Nigerian, South African, Kenyan, Somalian, or why do we degrade stuff? Why can't we maintain stuff that was maintained? Why can't we do that? Just as my mentality. This is my question. It's just the mentality. Like I'm saying to you, I'm not talking about destruction of property. I'm not talking about looting. I'm not none of that. I am just talking about maintaining an environment, maintaining a storefront, maintaining a house, maintaining a block of flats, maintaining a room, maintaining a road, maintaining just maintaining. Not just, I'm just talking about maintaining. That's all. Just maintain a certain level. Do we not have standards? Do we not have levels? Why do we embrace um, degradation, fault, why? I mean, just why? Why do we do that? Why? I mean, certain areas that even used to have bins, these green bins, used to have green. Where's the green bins now? Stolen, taken away. People need the bins, I don't know, for their house, I guess. You walk almost like a full 1 kilometer before you see another bin. In an area that had a bin almost every, I don't know, 500 meters or every 100 meters, there was a bin. And now you get to an area where all the green bins are gone. And the council and the government decided, no, they're not going to replace it anymore. Why? Just why? That's my question. Why? This video got, obviously, there can't be no pros in failing to upgrade the system. There's just no pros. So the only obvious thing, got to get into the cons. You know how we do. Holla. People, do you know what's said? This reputation that black people can't run things is really a badge that some people carry proudly with them. I'm now beginning to believe that, right? People, you cannot get into a company and the first thing you see is opportunities to plunder. You cannot get into an area and the first thing you see is opportunities to plunder. I mean, it's just, first, it's just embarrassing. Secondly, it just reinforces that stereotype that black people just don't know how to do things. How to. I know that for the most part, we did not build these businesses, these houses, these companies, these whatever. So there isn't that will to want to maintain it because we don't own it. We didn't spend money on it. We didn't put any sweat equity into that thing, right? I totally understand that point. True. Like I'm saying, you go to some shops, like you go to a shop like you go to a shop like this is a shop, right? Or you say, and they're desperate for workers. So they obviously take the cheapest labor because they want to save money, right? They need to double on the profits. So saving on salaries is one big way of doubling the profits, right? So you're not going to take a well-educated, well-spoken person who's got etiquette, and you just take any cheap person that you can just who can string two words together and then say, right, you got a job. People, when we do such things like hiring the cheapest help we can get, a person who can barely speak a language that is widely spoken in that certain demographic, or if you let's just say you're in let's just say English is the universal language, for example, right? You hire the cheapest person you can get. They can barely speak English because it's like a fourth language, third, fourth language. You know what I mean? It affects service levels because now this person can't communicate. This person, That person runs to go get someone, and someone is so busy. I think they could have taken you, I don't know, 5 seconds, because you just ask a question, you don't know where that is. Now, you ask a question, that person doesn't even, not only does he not know what you're saying, he also doesn't even know where that product is as well. Now he's got to go and look for someone who can respond to you and who also knows where the product is. Do you get what I mean? So service levels drop when we take over simply because we're chasing profits and we are not looking to increase our service levels to be optimal. For example, the service you get at the Woolies is way different from the service you will get at the ShopRite. You understand what I'm saying? The service levels you will get at a internationally renowned hotel are far different from the service levels you will get at a locally run bed and breakfast, local inn, or a lodge. But these, remember, these are places that are supposed to be of high standard, right? So I'm just simply saying, people, not everything cheap is always a good thing. Because as Black people, we don't come from money. So we try to take every opportunity to hold on to the money that we make. And therefore, spending monies on stuff that is basically required is something that we hold off of doing until we believe that we have the right amount of money to put that into. You understand what I'm saying? So, for example, signage. When a white person opens a business, they know that signage is everything. That is an advertisement of your business, it's a representation of your brand, all that. When we open businesses, dude, we could take a, you know where there used to be, you know how white run companies have billboards or they have these big advertising, you know, um, all these lights, fluorescent lights and whatever. Right. And they take the signage off when they leave. I promise you, when we take over, my goodness, any canvas will do, whether it's a card box or a zinc plate or whether it's just a board. And then funny thing is that board will be there until it cracks, until there's even letters missing, numbers missing. It's an afterthought because to us, well, everybody knows where we are, so the signboard, that's the last thing that we need to do. We don't think that, well, this board can attract new customers that don't know about us. That's not how we think. The only thing we think about is everyone knows we're here, we've been here for years, so it's all good. You see, Chinese and Indian run businesses are totally, the one thing that they do is maybe they overstock these stores and the stuff is dusty because they have a lot of stock. But you cannot fault them on certain key aspects of the business, you know? Whereas us, our businesses are not overly stocked. And yet when you go into our Black businesses that our Black brothers and sisters run, there's just so much activity happening around the business that doesn't even involve the business. Sometimes you get into a, I don't know if it's a Nigerian or whatever store, but yeah. I hate to use the Nigerians as an example, but they seem to be the most people that have businesses, like pawn shops and stuff. You get there are people sitting outside on chairs. I don't know, some are even talking and drinking alcohol, and you know what I mean. And then you get there, they're asking before you even can get in the store. They're already asking you out of the store. Yeah, can we help you? And just that type of activity in front of a business. I mean, you don't see that with white people, but to us, hey, why? Why is that? I mean, we get our friends. I don't know. Just doesn't make sense. Are we serious? Are we serious about having this tag follow us wherever we go that we cannot run stuff? Are we really happy about that? Guys, let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Was I on the money or did I totally miss it with this one? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we're family, right? Holla.